And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and we are now joined by Montreal Alouettes linebacker Shea Emry. Thanks for joining the show tonight, Shea. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me on, Chris. Appreciate that.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. And, let's get right to the interview, man. I see you attended Eastern Washington University. I guess, why did you decide to go there?
My high school football coach was the quarterback there, probably about 10 years before he came, and started coaching quarterback at my school, Vancouver College in Vancouver here. And so he just kind of created an avenue for me to get down there. And we always did a lot of camps and stuff all over the Northwest, and so I had a lot of exposure, and that's kind of where I ended up going. Played quarterback in high school, and then as soon as I got down to Eastern Washington, I was 235, and I could run, so they just kind of pushed me over the other side of the ball.
And overall, how was your time there at Eastern Washington University?
My time there was interesting. I had some good times on the football field, gained some great relationships, but I had a difficult time moving from Vancouver and going to a small town in Cheney, Washington, down there in Washington State, and went through some depression issues actually, and I just started kind of come out and started talking about that now. But it was a difficult time. I came back to the UBC here in Vancouver, spent 1 year, and then been in the CFL ever since. But overall, I don't regret my time at Eastern. It really gained me some experience on the football field and in the weight room, and really created a foundation for my football career.
In 2008, you were drafted 7th overall in the first round of the CFL draft by the Montreal Alouettes. How was that moment for you?
That was cool. It was somewhat like the NFL draft for me. It was the whole family watching it on TV and friends and stuff there, and everyone celebrating, and it was just kind of the first step to a dream come true, and that's exactly what it's been. It's two Grey Cups later, the Super Bowl with the CFL, and I'm sitting pretty and excited about the future.
Now, were you able to decide whether you wanted to go to the CFL or the NFL?
Not really. When I transferred home, it was kind of a decision that I made that I was going to be sacrificing a potential opportunity to go to the NFL right out of college, just because I was going to be in the CFL, the Canadian, the CIS, which is the Canadian College Sports or whatever, and so I kind of knew that was the decision I was going to have to make, and that I could make the NFL if I was going to have to do that. It was going to be through the CFL, and I tried actually coming down 2 off seasons ago. I tried my shot, tried to do a couple workouts, but nothing ended up working out. So I just ended up signing another contract up here and just decided to stay in Montreal.
Well, in 2009, the Alouettes made it to the 97th Grey Cup, and you guys took on the Rough Riders, where you guys defeated them 28-27. Can you tell us about the journey you guys had to take to get to the Grey Cup game and ultimately win it?
Well, that was an interesting year. I think it was Coach Trestman's second year in the league. We had lost in the Grey Cup the previous year, so we knew what it took to get there, but we didn't know what it took to win. And so it was interesting because when we were at halftime, we're down 16 points, and it was kind of a repeat of the year before. Everyone was just kind of, showing that they were scared and screwing up in the big game, and we came out in the second half and really did a good job at playing all 3 phases of the game well, and ended up winning with a last-second field goal.
Yeah, you guys also went on to win the 98th Grey Cup game the next season against the same team, the Rough Riders. How different were those 2 seasons?
I don't know. I think the first year in 2009, we were basically unstoppable. We were beating teams by 40 points. Coach Trestman's offense was really just no one could really figure it out because he would never run the same play twice. And our defense was one of the best defenses in the CFL. Almost set a record for least points scored in a season. I think we were about 10 to 18 points off, which was disappointing. But in 2010 it was difficult because everyone was gunning for us. We had won the previous year, so everyone we had a big target on our back, and we played that way. We played like we were were the aggressors, and we played like so people were coming out to get us, and we ended up getting to the playoffs and really just cruising through the playoffs again, and really just having a tough game in the Grey Cup against the same team we beat the year before. It was just as sweet the second time around.
Yeah, you guys defeated the Rough Riders that game, 21-18. How was the feeling of winning another championship that year, Shea?
Well, I think it was awesome because of the fact that we beat the same team. And in 2009, I'm not sure if you know this, but we missed our game-winning field goal, but they had 13 men on the field. So we played with 12 men, obviously, 13 being more than you're allowed. And we kicked the field goal. Everyone saw that it was good, so their team was all celebrating. They have a very big fan base that was there, and everyone's screaming, "Oh, we won, but there's flags everywhere." So we got to re-kick, we won the game, and everyone thought it was controversial because of the fact that we actually didn't win, but I mean, you got to play by the rules, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
So the second year when we won, it was basically just icing on the cake, a stamp of approval from the previous year, and really, just a wonderful time. To get a ring that says back-to-back on it is something special, and I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I did not know that missed field goal. I did not know anything about that. Does that still come up today?
Oh yeah, all the time. Especially if we have guys that are on our team that played on the team that we beat. So they always, say, it's controversial or this, that, asterisk, and we're like, come on, dude, it's football, it's sport, and we're the ones that ended up with the ring. So obviously there wasn't any sort of discrepancy, and you got to play by the rules, right?
Yeah, man, yeah. According to MontrealAlouettes.com, just this past season you recorded 87 tackles, 7 sacks, and 1 interception. Great job this past season, man. Those stats definitely stick out, and I got to ask you, did you do anything different this past season that you didn't do in others to prepare for games?
I think so, yeah. To be honest with you, the years previous, I was a little bit of a delinquent when it comes to the season, not really taking care of my body and just enjoying being being in the life of a professional athlete, especially in a city like Montreal, which you can get caught up in. And this past season, I really embraced being healthy because I had suffered a pretty bad concussion in 2011. So I really wanted to, take my health seriously and not drink or not touch anything that would make me feel like I wasn't adding to the health of my body. And so I really took that side of football seriously, and it paid off. I was feeling great. I didn't feel like I was breaking down at the end of the season, and really, I was playing free. It was an amazing experience, and not to mention we played a 3-4 instead of a 4-3, so I was playing a lot more rush, and I was blitzing a lot more, and there was a lot more space in the interior of the line, so I had room to move around in there instead of just one gap and kind of one shade off an offensive line that kind of had some freedom to do what I wanted to do, and I attribute a lot of that to our past defensive coordinator, Jeff Reinbold, who his system allowed me to have the freedom to do that.
So you would say you like playing the 3-4 more than the 4-3, right?
I mean, I've been more successful in that personally, but I've won more championships with a 4-3. So we're going back to a 4-3 next year. I think I'm not quite sure, but I'm just excited about a new challenge, a new opportunity. We have another defensive coordinator. This will be my 4th defensive coordinator in 6 years. So just kind of difficult to get acclimatized, but at the same time, like I said, new challenge, new opportunity, opportunity to succeed, opportunity to fail, and we're just going to figure out which side of the fence I end up on.
Well, I see you're elected to the CFL All-Star Game, which for NFL fans is pretty much like the NFL Pro Bowl. How did you get there? I know you performed well, but do players, coaches, or even fans vote you guys in? Like I said, I'm not too much of a fan, or I don't really watch much of the CFL, so I don't really know. Is it like the NFL where you get voted in by players, coaches, and fans?
Yeah, I think it's media and players, I'm not sure. I think it's fans as well. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Once the ballots come out, everyone gets to vote, and I was one of the 3 linebackers that were voted in. The other linebacker was J.C. Shea, who won the Buck Buchanan Award in Division I AA. We actually went to Eastern Washington together, and the other one went to Central Washington. Adam Bighill, he plays for the BC Lions here in Vancouver, and all of us are great linebackers, but they both had really good seasons, and it's quite similar. The way that it works is, everyone just kind of plays out the season. Season's done. Everyone votes for all-stars and the best defense player on the year on their teams, and then it goes from there. So I was just honored to be part of that for the first time in my career, and really just a stepping stone to success.
You guys are listening to Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, talking with Montreal Alouettes linebacker Shea Emry. Shea, not too long ago, your former head coach, Mark Trestman, accepted the head coaching position for the Chicago Bears. I told you I don't get a chance to watch the CFL much, so can you tell us a bit about Coach Trestman?
I mean, you guys have a gem there, I'll be honest with you. Every time a man walks into a room, he commands respect with the way he carries himself, the way he explains his messages and all of his talks and stuff. So really, right from the get-go, I didn't know who he was, where he was from, and he earned our respect right off the bat. And Coach Trestman's one of the most respected individuals in Canadian sports here, and really had a lot of success in the NFL previous to coming up to the CFL. And I think true fans will know that the fact that he's been an offensive coordinator 4 times. I think he's been in the Super Bowl a couple of times, and you have a guy that's very driven, and he will stay in there from 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and really dedicates his life to the success of this football team.
The Chicago Bears had Lovie Smith as their head coach for 9 seasons, and us Bears fans know that we would rarely see any emotion on the sideline from Lovie. Does Trestman ever show any emotion, or does he ever do anything to maybe encourage or pump you guys up on the sideline?
He kind of puts it on the players. He knows that him getting in your face isn't going to make it any better. He's not. I hope he doesn't hear this, but he's not an overly physical guy. He just, his presence is, like I said, about his message and his diligence and the way he prepares, and I think everyone respects the fact that that's what he does, and they know that he's going to be ready day in and day out. And on the sideline, he just, he's a lot like Lovie Smith in that way, where he's quite quiet and really just goes about his business, and adversity doesn't faze him, and he really tries to keep it all together, because he's captaining the ship, and he wants the players to know that he's under control, and they just got to go out there and do their jobs.
I hear Trestman is a quarterback guru, and Bears quarterback Jay Cutler is entering his final season on his contract, and we need to see some big things out of Jay, because it seems like management is building this team around him. Is it possible for Trestman to teach Jay Cutler a lot in just 1 season?
I believe so. I think he's done great things with Anthony Calvillo up here in the CFL, the all-time pro football passing leader, and holds all the records in the world. And I think he's got his work cut out for him. But I know that I think Jay's up to it, and I think that with the mindset that Trestman's going to bring, the calm demeanor that Trestman's going to bring, I think he'll be able to settle everything down in his mind and really just simplify everything and really just get him to succeed at the things that he's already good at. And I think, like you said, Trestman is the quarterback guru, and hopefully he can do what you guys need him to do.
And last but not least, Shea, our middle linebacker, Brian Urlacher, I'm sure you heard of him. He's getting pretty up there in age, man. Is there any chance Trestman is recruiting you to come to Chicago?
Everyone always asks me that, because they're like, Trestman, you're NFL, are you going to get your shot? And I was like, well, I got 1 more year on my contract, and after that, who knows what's the deal, and, those are some really big shoes to fill.
Hey, Shea, I really appreciate your time tonight, man. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to plug on there for myself and our listeners?
I hey, I just want to say thank you and enjoy what Tress has to offer. He's gonna try and control the media as much as possible, and you guys just gotta whittle your way in there and just try and get under his skin.
Sounds good, Shea. Hopefully we can do it again, and take care, man.
Of course, you too. Thanks a lot.